And charged with stabbing 5 people on the Apple River in Wisconsin, will stand trial on first-degree murder charges. Nikolai Miu is facing a life sentence for killing a teenager on the river in July of 2022.
But Miu is arguing self-defense during an escalating conflict with younger tubers. Tonight, our Paul Bloom is breaking down the legal issues at stake.
On Monday morning, the trial of Nikolai Miu finally gets underway here in St. Croix County Circuit Court. Miu is now 54. He's charged with 5 counts, including first-degree intentional murder for killing Stillwater teenager Isaac Schumann with a knife on that hot July day back in 22.
After seeing the impact my brother had on people, I want to thank Isaac for giving my family and I the best 17 years of our lives.
4 others were stabbed during the confrontation on the Apple River, including Riley Matson.
My friend instantly, saw that I was bleeding out and yelled to my other friends, "You need to call 911."
We spoke to Riley from her hospital bed in the days that followed.
I didn't really see a knife. I recall maybe something kind of poking out of his fingers, kind of like this, holding down by his side, but I don't recall for sure if it was a blade or not.
The question the jury will soon have to answer: were the stabbings an intentional act to kill and injure? Or was it, as Miu has maintained, a justified case of self-defense to protect his own life during a chaotic encounter with a group of young tubers?
And what is the bottom line when it comes to a defendant arguing self-defense?
Sure. The defendant has a burden of producing some evidence that they acted reasonably in self-defense. They have to reasonably believe that they were going to suffer some attack and that attack was going to result in great bodily harm or death.
Attorney Eric Nelson won a high-profile acquittal in a deadly self-defense case in Wisconsin back in 2015.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Levi Aker Kendall, not guilty.
Levi Aker Kendall was charged with homicide in the stabbing death of Peter Kelly during a nighttime riverfront altercation along the St. Croix.
The last thing I remember seeing was his tennis shoes and my flip-flops, and I stabbed him.
Aker Kendall here testified in his own defense, even physically demonstrating what happened during the fight. Nelson tells me he expects Miu will ultimately have to do the same.
To raise self-defense, you have to act with the intent to defend yourself, and you need to explain why you defended yourself, what you were feeling, what you were thinking, what you were seeing.
Miu remains jailed, but court filings hint at his defense. Miu claimed he was using snorkel gear to search for a friend's lost cell phone when he thought a group of younger tubers may have found something, and he approached. That is when things escalated quickly, with some witnesses describing Miu's behavior on the river as, quote, sketchy and disgusting. Miu telling investigators he feared for his life, that the group became more agitated, calling him obscene names, before turning on him and assaulting him in the water.
It's going to go directly to what you were feeling and what you were fearing in that moment. If you're in the water, well, any one of those guys could bring you down and kill you.
Nelson, who brings years of experience as a defense attorney in high-stakes cases, including the murder trial of Derek Chauvin, believes a central piece of evidence will be witness cell phone video that captured several minutes of the encounter and could ultimately clear up questions about who pulled the knife first. Miu is quoted by authorities as saying he did not have a knife on him, but instead grabbed one from a tuber during the confrontation. But his wife told investigators Miu had a knife in his pocket. Nelson says the video won't lie.
Video evidence gives the jury the opportunity to analyze what happened in that moment. And so presuming that video captures the entire attack, the provocation that led up to that attack, what was happening, it could be critical. Memories are faulty. People are afraid in circumstances like this. And a jury is given the opportunity to forgive those types of inconsistencies if they can see what actually happened.
The Miu trial is set to get underway here Monday morning with jury selection. The court has sent out these 15-page pre-trial questionnaires, already weeding out several dozen prospective jurors based on written answers, mainly availability and also preconceived opinions and biases in this high-profile case. The hope, get the jury seated in the morning and then get to opening statements Monday afternoon. Reporting from the St. Croix County Courthouse in Hudson, Paul Bloom, Fox 9.
everybody reacts and you hear it. You hear the change in the tone, and this is when witnesses say Nikolai punched Madison in the face. You hear Madison testify and Nikolai punched her in the face. Madison's sunglasses are no longer on her head. You hear her testify that they got knocked off when he hit her. After Nikolai punches Madison, Dante, her friend, punches Nikolai. You can see that in the right frame. Again, Madison's sunglasses no longer there. Nikolai goes down in the water. You can see in the right photo, he gets slapped. It's shallow water, his butt's in the water essentially. That's AJ in those photos, pushing on Nikolai's back. You'll see that the push doesn't really do anything. Nikolai gets right up with the knife in his right hand, lunges at AJ as AJ's going to push him again. As AJ is pushing Nikolai, Nikolai stabs into his lower abdomen with the blade up and slices up his stomach. You can see in that right photo he just missed his throat, chin. In the middle photo you can see AJ's stomach opened up on the bottom, right above his swim trunks. From the push from AJ, Nikolai goes down, lands in his butt in the water again. You won't see anyone in the video pounce on him at this point or approach him, try to hit him when he's down in the water. You see him try to grab at Tony. That's Tony. You'll hear that's Tony in the jean shorts. Tony walks by him. Tony has his back to Nikolai. And you'll hear Tony yelling in the video, "Get back, get back." You hear testimony from Tony that he thought he was breaking up a fist fight. So he's yelling at somebody off screen to get back. He has his back to Nikolai. Nikolai gets up, still with the knife in his hand. That person in the top left of the left photo is Riley. So after Tony, you hear him yelling, directing somebody off screen to get back. He turns to Nikolai and he's yelling, "Get back, get back." And you see him pointing in the video and yelling. And you see Nikolai's hand going back with the knife in it. He makes a stabbing motion off screen. Tony's yelling at him, "Get back." And then you see Riley's just been stabbed. That group in the background there that Nikolai's facing with nobody between him and that group is his group. That's his group of tubers. Tony, you'll see and you hear from him when he testifies that he's just yelling at Nikolai to go. Nikolai doesn't. Again, that's his group. In the right photo, the guy with the aviators, that's his friend Ariel, almost up to Nikolai. Nikolai doesn't walk back to his group. Instead, he turns to Tony with the knife in his right hand. He stabs at him twice. You can see Riley bleeding in the background. Ariel, Nikolai's friend, is there as he's lunging the knife at Tony. That hand there on the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see more clearly in the next still shots. Isaac goes to shove Nikolai. See the gold bracelet? As he's shoving Nikolai, Nikolai lunges out with the knife. Nikolai kind of stumbles back from the push, comes back with his knife covered in blood and dripping blood. You can see the women recoiling from him. Nikolai ends up by his friend Ariel as he's stumbling from the push. You don't see Dante get stabbed in the video, but I expect you'll see evidence and testimony that it was after this. It's not until this point in the video, after he stabbed AJ, Riley, Tony, and Isaac, that you hear people start react and realize what's going on in the video. You hear that they all suddenly saw AJ, and you'll see in a second what they saw. Up until that point, people didn't realize that Nikolai was stabbing people. You'll hear in the video the shock and disbelief at what just happened. The camera pans around, you see Nikolai looking in the direction to where AJ and Isaac are. AJ is in the water, holding in his guts. Isaac's friends scatter and run. Juan, who's filming, runs back. Nikolai walks away. You can see at this point, if you recall the photo of Dante, he's got dark chunks on the bottom, light on top. He's got his hands on his torso and he's looking down. Nikolai continues to walk away. He walks by his friend Ariel. On that right photo, he's standing in front of Ernesto. He walks by Ernesto. On the right there, that's Alex Bing running to Isaac, who is collapsed in the water. You see AJ struggling. That's Nikolai by Ernesto. Nikolai continues walking. The camera pans away, and it pans back. Nikolai's off in the distance. Pans down a little bit, and that's what the middle photo is showing. And then you see in the left photo, you see he's approaching the right shore. Camera pans down, pans back up. He's walking away from the right shore. Isaac's group and the Carlson's group start helping each other, try to get to shore, get the victims to shore. Isaac and AJ, who are collapsed. Nikolai starts walking back from the right over across to where his group is at the sandbar. Camera pans around the water. Water's running red. It's Isaac's hat floating by. Nikolai is almost back to his group. You can see people trying to help AJ and Isaac. You see a couple people from the Carlson's group start to call 911. We hear from 4 people that were stabbed, and none of them saw Nikolai with the knife. They didn't notice he had a knife. They didn't know, they thought they were punched until they looked down and see all the blood. There's not going to be any testimony on what Isaac saw. If he saw Tony get stabbed right in front of him when he went to shove Nikolai, because Isaac's not going to be here to tell what he saw. You hear that some Good Samaritans who are also tubing, some nurses, tended to AJ and Isaac until law enforcement and paramedics arrived. AJ, as a result, was disemboweled. He had to have emergency surgery. He was in the hospital for nearly a month and had to have numerous follow-up surgeries. Riley, who was in the bikini in the middle photo, was stabbed in the side. It sliced her diaphragm. She had to have emergency surgery. Tony was stabbed twice. One, I'll describe how he kind of blocked it. He thought it was a punch coming in, so it just kind of scratched him, but the other one went into his torso. Isaac was stabbed in the chest and the torso, cut clean through 2 ribs, and sliced his heart. Died almost immediately. he was 17 years old.
Brief moment. On camera, guys. Let's clip it. He's on 4K. Yo, the new iPhone got that good quality. What do you say?
So he's walking away from where your tubes are.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, but at the end of the video, you can see him turn his body back towards us, and then I assume he walked back towards us.
You don't know if he did.
We could watch the rest of the video and find out.
Well, we will, but your group walks toward him, right? You keep saying they don't, and it's clear they're moving in his direction, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And you're moving in his direction because you've testified that you're scared, right?
Our tubes were all still right around our tubes. That's our property. We're not, like...
How come you don't go around him? You've said that he could...
What do you mean?
Hold on. You said he could leave, right?
Yeah.
He could have walked away. You could have walked away, right?
Yeah.
You didn't walk away either, did you?
No.
And that river, anybody can use that river if we're being honest with one another, true?
Yeah.
Okay. So he doesn't have any more responsibility to walk away than you guys do, does he?
Nope.
Okay. And if I said to you that at some point this other group starts coming over, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, are you guys calling him a pedophile?
I think, yeah, we were previously.
You
eventually realized that people were getting hurt?
Yes.
Did you realize that Isaac Schumann had been stabbed?
Yes.
How did you know that?
I kind of just looked down the line of people that were hurt. I saw the first person, like, that's not my friend. That's not my friend. That's not my friend. And the last person I looked at was my guy, Isaac Camp.
As the fight's going on, did you see people bleeding?
Yes.
At some point, did you realize what was happening?
Yes.
Is that when you stopped laughing?
Yes.
Judge, we're going back to the video. It'll be from the 206 mark to the end.
What the fuck? Wait. What the fuck? He's dying. He's dying, bro. Wait, what? What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Are we serious? Is this real?
Oh my god.
Who is that?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Is this real? Is this real?
Oh my god. Oh my god, what the fuck?
Is this real? Is this real?
Bike, bro, bike, bike.
That's not bike! That's not bike! That's not bike! That's not bike! That's not Isaac! Oh my god! Oh my god! This isn't real! This isn't real!
John, is that the final part of your video that you took that day?
Yes.
At the end, when you were saying that's not bike, who were you referring to?
Isaac Schumann.
Is that a nickname?
Yeah.
Were you able to see where Mr. Mew went after he stabbed these folks?
No.
Were you concerned about where he went, or were you have other things on your mind?
No.
Did you make your way up to Isaac?
Yeah.
Were you able to see that he had been wounded? Did you try to get some folks to help?
Yeah.
Eventually, did some people stop to help?
Yeah.
Was a nurse one of the people that stopped to help?
Yeah.
Sustained.
Did you know the folks who stopped to help you?
No, I did not.
Eventually, did police and medical personnel show up on the river?
Yes.
Do you know how long it took for them to get there?
No, I don't.
Did you see Isaac get transported off the river?
Yeah.
Did you follow?
Yeah.
Was he brought up to the road to the bridge?
Yeah.
Did you speak to an officer? At some point, did you tell an officer that you had video of the incident?
Yes, I did.
And did you show that officer the video?
At the time, I just played it to the point where Mr. Miu was in it.
At some point, was the officer able to take a screenshot of a still from your video?
Yes.
That showed Mr. Miu?
Yes.
Approach?
Yes.
Isaac, I'm showing, I'm showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 38. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
Can you tell us what that is?
That's my cell phone with a still frame of Miu on it.
Is that the still frame that the officer, the still picture the officer took of your phone that day? Mm-hmm. Is that a yes?
Yes.
I'll move for admission of Exhibit 38.
Any objection? Received.
Once you got up off the river, did you speak to a police officer?
Yeah.
Just briefly?
Yeah.
You saw what you saw happen?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Eventually, was Isaac transported to a hospital?
Yes.
Did you follow?
Yes.
Did you speak to another officer at the?
Yes, I did.